the game that I would give, like, the super ultra slicky dicky rating to, that I've been playing, is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt.
Super ultra slicky dicky rating.
Super ultra slicky dicky rating, dude.
Okay.
Let me tell you something about this game.
Yes.
It's good.
I know this. I have it.
It's amazing.
Yes, it is.
I wasn't even going to play this game. I didn't give it a second thought until you convinced me to pick up the game and play it. And I did.
Yeah, and it's funny because I haven't even delved into the game as much. I just knew it was something that you would like, which is why I recommended it to you, you know?
But, so I beat the game. It took me 70 hours for the main story. 70 hours.
Wow.
I've seen a lot of, like, actually varying ratings. Some people take up to, like, 90 hours to beat the main story. Some people take, like, you can do it in, like, 50 hours. I guess it really depends on, like, the choices that you make. Because there are, like, some quests that you can fail. Like, a lot of them without affecting the story. And still beat it. But I don't know, like, it was 70 hours, but not a single part of it felt like a grind. Like, it was fun the entire time.
Yeah.
Which is very rare for a game like that, especially when it drags on that long. Like, it was like a Persona 4 for me. Like, it just did not feel like a grind. Like, I wanted to play the game constantly. I was so just immersed into it.
Yeah, my favorite thing about The Witcher 3 was the fact that there's so many side missions, and they're not just, like, thrown in, stapled into the game. They actually have fully animated cutscenes with NPCs that actually matter, I felt like, when I was playing it.
Yeah.
That's something I liked a lot.
It's also another game, not all the time, but sometimes your choices really do matter. Like, just me and you talking about, like, some of the earlier parts of the game that we've gone through. I've experienced things that you haven't experienced and vice versa.
With the Baron and all.
Yeah, especially with the Baron story quest, which, by the way, one of the saddest storylines, like, of any video game I've ever played.
Yeah, and for me it wasn't quite sad. It was, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't end quite the way yours did. I don't want to spoil anything.
But the beginning was the same for us with the little, what was it called?
The botchling.
The botchling creature.
We chose that as well.
Right.
Both of us chose that option.
For those of you that don't know what the botchling is, it is a aborted fetus that was, like, buried in the ground.
Yeah, and it was, like, damned.
Yeah.
Like, as unwanted. So it comes and just haunts the...
So there's that, which is, like, sad enough as it is when the Baron tells you his whole story. But then something at the end of my Baron quest that was different from Brett. It was just, like, the nail in the coffin, dude. I was like, oh my god. Because they try to have this character come across as, like, really, like, you know, one-dimensional, like, he's a brute, you know, he's, like, tough.
Drunk.
But, yeah. But his story is sad AF. But, aside from that, the game is good, like, the whole way through. Like, there's not a bad part of the game, but it gets to a point, and especially with, like, the story, where, like, everything starts, like, coming together, and this thing happens, and one time, me and you were on PSN playing together, and this cutscene happened, and I said it right then, dude. I was like, yo, game of the fucking year right here, because of one specific thing that happened.
And I'm not even at that point yet, right?
I know. No, you're maybe, like, 5 to 7 hours, what that is.
Damn.
But it was just, like, the whole culmination of things. But that was only the end of the second act of the game. And there's still a whole nother third act where, like, the main, like, the big thing that you've been, like, leading to, like, the main enemy, like, comes into play. And then you're like, alright, let's go. And then it turns into, like, this super, like, awesome, like, action thriller kind of thing.
That's cool.
And shades away from being, like, sad and, like, it's still very much dramatic and, like, a drama. But, I mean, it like, shifts to, like, I don't know, like, an over-the-top action game. Whereas the earlier parts, like, there was still all the fighting and stuff like that, but it was very much, I guess, more personal story. So,
yeah, like I told you, one of my favorite things about the game was the Wild Hunt in general. Like, they're just these sweet enemies. Yeah. And you only fight where I'm at. I've only fought them, like, 3 times at most.
And you just fought, like, little
groups of them. And you said, like, trust me, it gets more into
ridiculous.
It. Yeah, and I'm excited for that, to be honest with you.
I mean, and the gameplay, it's... My biggest gripe is sometimes during combat, like, you have to move the camera yourself. So you'd be, like, fighting, and you can't really see what you're fighting, and you get fucked because you can't see what you're fighting.
Yeah, you have to do, like, the claw with your hand to turn the camera as you're moving and stuff.
So, it didn't bother me once I, like, developed my play style for the game, which was very slow. I feel like the game promotes fast gameplay. I did it very slowly. I don't know.
Well, that's just your playstyle.
Yeah.
What'd you think about the graphics and the look of The Witcher?
Let's not mince words. The Witcher 3 has some very serious technical and graphical glitch issues. Often. Very often. Extremely often. But...
That being said, it's a huge fucking game.
It is a huge game. Like, ridiculous. But with all that being said, for all the problems it has, the game is simply fucking beautiful. Like the facial animations, the facial structures, and the textures, not just the face, but like every texture in the game.
The dirt.
Like the clothes, the dirt, like water, like the getting blood on your sword. The creature, like everything about this game is beautiful. The environments. I took so many screenshots of this game where I'm just like running around like, that it looks fucking amazing. Let me please take a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
From the very beginning of the game, like the very first like inkling of the start of the game to the very end of the game, I was taking screenshots every few minutes. And I have like over 200 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Which is not something I normally do during games. 'Cause I'm not thinking about like taking screenshots.
Yeah.
But I did it with Until Dawn a little bit, and a lot with The Witcher. And
Until Dawn is another beautiful game.
oh yeah, absolutely. But so all the problems that The Witcher 3 does have, I can excuse it because of how good it is.
Yeah.
And I think I've said it before. It feels like I'm playing D&D in a video game. Like
It definitely
on the
does.
setting.
Because you go into the bars, you know what I mean, and you talk to all the people in the town and whatnot.
Show me what you got.
Yeah. You just, I don't know, like show me your wares. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like that kind of speak in general just sounds like it.
And the dialogue too, like the choices and stuff, was very D&D-esque. And The Witcher 2 did do that, but I don't feel like it nailed it as well as this game did.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah, I
it
haven't
was
played
very
any of the
interesting.
Witcher, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, but it's just good game. Game of the year for me right now. TBH.
And you've played quite a few of the games this year.
Yeah.
Batman, you just finished up.
Yeah.
So what do you? Let's see. You bought Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah.
You bought Mad Max.
I bought Mad Max. I've not played that yet either.
You bought Batman. You beat that.
Yeah.
Dying Light not beat that. You're like halfway through.
Yeah.
The Witcher, you beat it.
Mm-hmm.
What else did you buy?
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn, you
Beat
beat
it.
that.
I just picked up Wolfenstein: The Old Blood because I liked the Wolfenstein: The Order a lot. That was like my game of the year for 2013, I think, when it came out, or maybe, yeah, I think it was 2013. Yeah, I just bought Dark Souls 2: Scholar of the First Sin Edition too.
Ooh, you did.
As well on sale. I have not played that yet, but I want to. I might wait a little bit for that though, because that's like when I start playing that game, like I'm gonna be playing that game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're going to want to do that too, because once you get out of Dark Souls, it's like you totally forget where you were going.
Right.
There's no map or anything, you know what I mean?
So that's really why I forced myself to finish Arkham Knight, because I knew, based off the gameplay, if I stopped playing that game, I was not going back to it.
Oh, yeah.
At least for a really long time. The Witcher 3 was not like that. I'd go back to that game. I still want to play it and like 100% and complete it. But like the story like immersed me so much. Like I just had to beat it.
And let's talk about the DLC that they gave out for free.
Yeah.
Several missions, clothing skins. New Game Plus was included as DLC.
Yeah. So it was over 16 free DLCs that came with the game.
Yeah, and I think hairstyles and swords and stuff that other games would have charged you like $2.99 for.
And even like the DLC expansion that it's 10 hours is only like $8.
Yeah, $8.99 or something
That
like
is
that.
so cheap for
Definitely.
DLC nowadays, where you see things like
10 hours of gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, especially.
and Evolve, dude. I got Evolve last night in the order. I forgot.
Yeah.
But dude, Evolve, that DLC still makes me sick after talking about it. That was like at Hapticast like 4 or 5 we talked about it, dude.
And we went on last night. We popped it in my PS4 and we checked out the store, the DLC store, and they're charging $2.99 for characters and $1.99 for skins. They should have been unlockable in the game in the first place.
$5 to $10 for a monster.
Yeah, and I don't even understand how it works. Like, they had one monster on there, but then they're like, oh, you have to get the season pass to get this monster. And it's like, so what? You're locking monsters behind a season pass now?
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous.
And the season pass doesn't unlock everything. You have to buy like 2 season passes to get everything.
Yeah, there's like 2 seasons now of Evolve.
Which is really just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So,
The Witcher does it right.
yeah. And also the stuff that it comes with, physical soundtrack, disc, map, an actual game guide, like a game manual, and then it comes with like a lore thing too.
Yeah, so in case you didn't play the other games like me, you can catch up with the story.
And then it also comes with a thank you note from CD Projekt Red saying thank you for like spending your hard-earned money on this for you sucking us off. We're gonna suck you off by giving you 16 free DLCs.
That's something that's been happening a lot more lately with the thank you notes. I mean, Advanced Warfare had it. Who made that? Sledgehammer?
Yes.
They left a note. CD Projekt Red for The Witcher. I can't really think of anything else, but it's becoming more popular.
Yeah.
I remember there was a big, I don't want to say like The Witcher 3 doesn't deserve it. But there was a big jerk circle for The Witcher 3 when it came out on Reddit.
Mhm.
And one of the things was, what other companies would thank you for buying their game? CD Projekt Red's the best. And people would reply, Sledgehammer did it with Advanced Warfare. And it was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck. Like, it kind of takes away from it because it's Sledgehammer with Call of Duty, but
Yeah.
still, that's awesome that both companies
Mhm.
said thank you.
I think it's a nice thing because games are expensive. $60, like, that's a lot of money to put out for like a singular thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just all around good job, CD Projekt Red. Game of the year right now for me. I'll update that later once I like play all these other games, but I'm still sure it's probably gonna be my game of the year. I think I'm gonna really like Metal Gear Solid, but it's very different. Like it's not. There is like obviously a story and a narrative, and from what I heard, it's pretty okay. Some people are a little disappointed with it, but in its purest form, it's a sandbox, espionage game.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to appeal to me as much as Witcher 3 did.
True.
And same thing with Mad Max, like open sandbox, right? Like I'm sure it's going to be fun and over the top, but
Mad Max looks like it has some Batman combat too, so
yeah.
depends on how much you're into that. Like Shadows of Mordor did it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
nice.
I don't think I can say any more about The Witcher.
Boy Witcher. That's it.